everyone. I have to say good day because, of course, I'm not too sure whether it's night or day or evening, winter or spring, anywhere in the world. We are back for part two. Yes, part two indeed. Welcome, Rene. I know we had part one and Rene wasn't with us, and so you know what, I'm gonna have Rene just of course greet us all. Over to you, Rene.
Hello, everyone. It's so amazing to be back and to see a familiar face that I haven't seen in a good couple of years, but I'm happy to be having a conversation later on. And you know what? This is actually, we're getting to the end of our series, and we've had amazing insights, and I am definitely looking forward to today. So
Oh.
let's get started.
Thank you so much, Rene. Uvatira?
Hello, hi world. I'm so excited for this session because the first one went so smooth and we are so energized from the first one. So I hope Silas and Renee can keep up with our energy levels.
Ooh.
And as we get kick started with part two, so I'm really excited.
I love the pressure. I'm hoping that our guest and Rene is feeling the pressure. Over to you, Emily.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We are back again with part two, as our host mentioned. My name is Emily Commander, and I feel amazing. I feel great. Our energy levels are high, as Vatera mentioned. And on part two of our session today, I would love to introduce a very a powerful speaker. He's a social innovator within the innovation space and entrepreneurial space in the Namibian market. And I would just like to introduce you to Mr. Silas Newaka to give a brief introduction of himself. Over to you, Mr. Newaka.
Thank you. Such an awesome aspect, and I'm also excited to be sharing what I know best. It is innovation every day, every time, every minute here in Namibia. Thanks, ladies. Fortunately, I'm the man in the group of ladies, and I'm very happy and such a marvelous thing. Okay, Silas is a social innovator per se. I describe myself as such simply because I do want to see, the people of the region, Namibia, Southern Africa in particular, really improving their livelihood. And for me, it's only innovation that will take us there. So Silas have been working with Namibia Business Innovation Institute for a while. And at a point in time, for about 5 years, I was leading the program called Southern Africa Innovation Support Program as a country coordinator for Namibian program, which was one of the programs that was seen as performing very well at the end of the program. And that evaluation is also available to be viewed. Apart from that, I have extensive knowledge in ecosystem building, and that is innovation and startup ecosystem. I'm involved in, I have been involved for the past 2 years, which is 2018, 2019 up to 2020 with the Southern Africa Innovation Startup Awards, which are covering the whole Southern Africa. And the other aspect now, I am also a visual employee for the set up a startup, which is based in Johannesburg. So I'm pretty much, know how the ecosystems are built and how are they operating. Within Namibia, we are probably the leading institution, NBI, because we are the first to come on the innovation ecosystem. We were the first. And right now we are joined with a lot. I'm going to share that one later. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that very powerful introduction, Silas. So I'm very excited. All I've heard was the first. I just heard pioneer. I just felt disruption. So I'm going to allow, at least we're going to allow Renee Parker, just to guide us in this conversation. And yeah, over to you, Renee Parker. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you for that intro. I think it definitely set the tone for the conversation. As mentioned earlier on, we really just wanted to pick your brain. You know, you have been around a long time, you've known us for a long time. When we met you, I think we were all just a little younger, not much younger, a little younger. I think NBII was called not NBII yet. It was called, what was it called before NBI?
Namibia Business Innovation Center.
NBIC,
The
right?
center, NBIC, by then.
Yeah. And even coming there and seeing you and meeting you and seeing the space has always been, I think, so beautiful. And seeing the entrepreneurs busy and in and out, and just seeing over the years how things have transformed, even your relationship with the university, which is quite unique, and how those two actually, work together and play together. That's been really, really great to see. And RLabs, of course, you housed us when we started out in a room. We had a room before we had an office, doing some training. And maybe if you just want to tell us just a little bit, like what were some of the things that was going through your mind? Of course, now we talk about ecosystem, right? I don't think at that time we used those words, or social enterprise or social innovator. We just knew that we want to create things together, we want to collaborate, like let's see what we can do. So maybe just tell us what were some of the, the early days, what were some of your thought processes or the things that you were thinking about and envisioning for Namibia?
Yeah, great. That's a very good question because it has been quite a journey. For us, it has been a journey and an exciting journey per se because it hasn't been that smooth journey where one would say when NBI came into the space that they were intending to do what is now currently they are doing. So this is where it is really exciting because at first when we got into the space, we were only talking about that buzzword innovation. What is innovation? Everyone else was just like, wow, very exciting. What is innovation, by the way? And people then devised a lot of definitions, which uh, they were not really uh, location focused, uh, understandable by local people, in particular the people at the what we call the lower lender of life. So that is what we started off with, awareness program on innovation. What is innovation? What is expected of innovation? Or how do you contextualize innovation within Namibia? Because otherwise, if it is a worldwide definition, that wouldn't have made any effect to our people, especially the one that at the bottom of the lander. So that's what we started off, and uh, then 2020 comes, COVID came, and we had to innovate ourselves even because we used to just give face-to-face programs, co-create together. That wasn't possible lately, so we had to innovate, and that's what brings us to the other aspects of innovation, where we where digital uh, digital platforms such as the Zoom that we are doing now have become so popular interaction, in engaging, in 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 in, in capacity building, training, and, and to say that we also have now started to developing digital platforms where entrepreneurs and innovators can engage with us and with the outside world. So, as I said, the the journey, it was not smooth as such. As I told you that we started off in Namibia while South Africa was talking about innovation, knew about innovation. By 1999, I mean 2009, Namibia did not know about that at all. We were hard at work with awareness program, which was the biggest thing. But right now, that's different. People are now moved on. People have the capacities built in terms of what innovation, how to innovate, how practical is innovation to the ecosystem. Now people are talking about ecosystem building. And ecosystem building comes with exciting aspects such as networking, which is the greatest of all greatest items.
Thank you for that. So just thinking around, I mean, and just listening to you speak, right? So I'm actually the word digital divide keeps popping popping into my head, right? Because that's the
Mhm.
reality. I know as a fellow ecosystem builder, we're always conscious that they might always be these two worlds, right? And so, people that's talking about innovation and creating and have access to innovative spaces and hubs and know how the internet works. And like you have this group of people and then you have the people on the ground. I think in your opening statement you mentioned, your heartbeat is for the livelihood, to improve the livelihood of everyone. And so, how, I mean, I have my I have my own thoughts of how hard that is, like bringing these two worlds together at
Mhm.
some point. I'm just really interested, like, how have you managed that? Keeping your foot on the ground, understanding, like, this is what we want to see. We want to see everyone's livelihoods improved, and at the same time, we have hubs and we have spaces and we have people coming there. And so, do you see a divide? Do you think there's hope to shortening it, to bringing people together? What are your thoughts?
Uh, for us, really, the for us, we have been a good example to the Namibian space. If I have, I'm not pricing ourselves, but more so if you look at it the way we do it. One, for example, we have been pioneers of almost every programs. Be it we started off with capacity building, and a lot have joined in that aspect. We started off with a program of digital divide, where we then have a co-creation area. Now we have several institutions really picking up on that opportunity and driving the things forward. So for us, we are not holding innovation back. We are enabling the innovation to go through. Even though we are not government, we are we are simply a department within the university. But the impact that we are creating in terms of giving the ecosystem something to think about, something to drive them, because if I tell you we are only 10 in our division who are trying to move the innovation aspects forward within Namibia, but it's not possible to do it if you are 10. You need 100 people probably. So this is what we call, there's something that we have been telling ourselves, that we are we are the greatest evangelist of innovation within Namibia, because what we are trying to do is we are trying to, as much as small that we are creating in terms of capacity building, in terms of mentorship that we are giving to our people, in terms of the networking that the networks that we are creating for our people, whether within the country or regionally, uh, that to us, it's through partnership. And through partnership, we mean, for us, we mean working together with uh, motivated institutions, and institutions that want to also penetrate the innovation space can still use our model. One of those institutions is yourself, RLabs. They are good. They are still good. They are still known. They are still, uh, we still find, requests coming through, and we give it, to Emily to say people are still demanding for this kind of processes, which really made an impact to the living of our unemployed youth in particular. So, so in short, I'm saying for us, it's we are looking for evangelists to evangelize innovation and make sure that it reaches the bottom half of everyone.
I love it. I think we should definitely coin the term innovation evangelist, because it means exactly that, right? It's spreading the message, putting it
Mhm.
out there, and yeah, and allowing people to make decisions for themselves, whether they want to use it or not use it, or be part of it or not be part of it, but at least people have an option, which
Correct.
which I think is really great. I also like your other term you used. I think it was ecosystem builders,
Mhm.
or innovation builders, and not just in. No. Sorry. Let me repeat that. Ecosystem enabler.
Enabler, yeah.
Yes. So we known as builders, right? Because that's what people call us, because you're building this ecosystem. But I really like the term enabler, because when you enable with something or with someone, you're putting
Mhm.
the power back in that person's hand, that individual's hand, right? So you're enabling them to solve problems for themselves, and understanding that we can't fix everything, we can't fix everyone. And I also really appreciate you talking about partnerships, because it's also understanding we need each other. Everyone has a role to play, and so there isn't really one solution, like a bandage, one size for everything, because
While
people,
you are there, can I quickly just jump in and say,
of
I mean,
course.
you are contextualizing the way I feel so comfortable talking about it. And the other aspect is something that I wanted to mention and probably is just left is in ecosystems, there is high competition. And for me, competition is not the one that we are up to. People say competition is healthy, but that's not the case. Especially if you are a social innovator, that's not the best solution. The best solution is a collaboration and partnership that you are embracing on. Please continue.
Thank you for that. I love that, because when you're talking to, especially to entrepreneurs, right, or you to any stations, what are some of the key words, right? Competition. Who's your competition? We so it's so ingrained in us that we always have to think about who am I competing with, who's my competitors. But really understanding, when you're a social innovator, when you're a social innovation space, a hub, even a ecosystem enabler, there isn't really time to compete, because we need each other, right? And so the focus is very clear about where we want to go and what we want to achieve. And at
Mhm.
the end of the day, I mean, I really want to come back to talking about improving the livelihood. I think that is that is key. And so as fancy, we can use all these fancy words and terms, but if someone's livelihood, if that is not being improved, then what are we doing? Right. So and getting back to that, if that's the ultimate. And so maybe just in wrapping up,